Hi, my name is Anita Foster. I'm the Library Media Specialist at Autry Middle School in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Ingrid Hansen. I'm the Library Media Specialist at Lindley 6th Grade Academy in Mapleton, Georgia.
Hey everyone, I am Lori Quintana and I'm the Library Media Specialist at Griffin Middle School in Smyrna, Georgia.
Welcome to Overdue, Conversations from the Library.
Woo!
Yay, it has been way too long. Oh my gosh.
You guys have no idea how long this has been in the making. We have been trying and trying for months to get together and we
Forever.
We're all gonna bust right now.
So we've had so many conversations we wanted to have with you over the COVID and over going back to school and everything. But with all of our added duties and added stress because of all the COVID stuff, we have not had a chance to sit down and meet. As a matter of fact, our texts keep getting longer going, we really need to meet. We really need to do this. And we just haven't had a chance to do it. So when our district announced on Tuesday that today and tomorrow we're going to be remote learning days, we were all like, okay, can we finally get together? And so that's what we're doing.
Yes, and it's going to be like a special Christmas edition for you guys. Like Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. Happiness.
Yes.
Because Overdue is recording. Here we are, guys.
Overdue is in the house, and if you are,
I don't see mine, but it's there.
If you
I'm
only
flaking.
Lori is our flake. If you only do our recordings on podcasts, you're missing it because we do have it now on YouTube as well. So you can follow along with us and actually see what we look like if you don't know us. And we are going to try and do this more regularly now that the new year's starting. We are waiting to see what our district is going to decide soon. We don't know.
Yes, because we are virtual right now again. So
we're virtual for the next 2 days and then we are off for a couple of weeks.
Yes. Yay. Everybody loves breaks.
I must say, I think our teachers and our students really do deserve, and us, every school employee really deserves this next 2 weeks off.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has been very stressful.
It is. I can tell you I'm very thankful though that we got to go back for the few weeks that we did with our students, because I think that is what kept me going. You know what I mean? Being
oh my gosh, for sure.
a person in our libraries and then actually having the kids that chose to be face-to-face, having them there in the library. Guys, I just did for the first time since May my library stats because there were none. It was flatline. Okay, there were no kids, and so this was the first month I actually was able to go into Destiny, and I mean, like I was like this pushing the button, and I did, and I had a little bit of data, and I was like, you know what, I have to share it. Like that's our current life right now. You know, that's our new norm that everybody keeps telling us about. And so far from what I did before COVID, and it's a little hard to adjust to, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the time that I had with the kids, no matter what my data is. And that is what is most important to me. So,
and you know what, the other night after that conversation that we had via text where you were talking about sharing your data and stuff like that, I was like, oh, I don't know that I want it, because we just opened up for students to come in November.
Yeah, you are pretty similar. Yeah.
And you have twice as many students as I do, though. We're at like 600 and something now. We have, I think, less than Lindley, 6th grade even.
Wow.
So, and then half of our students decided to be remote, while the other half is on campus. And so we had that. And I was just very nervous to run mine. So I ran mine on Monday, and honestly, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, because even though we've allowed students to check out the whole time last spring, and then we not only allowed students to check out when we came back in August, but we were delivering books to homeroom. we had at the very beginning of the school year, we had where they could pick them up outside on Mondays, or now if they're remote students, they'll tell us and we'll have them ready for them in the front office so they don't have to come too far into the school and they can pick them up. We deliver to homerooms. And then in November, when students started coming in, even though we still deliver some to homerooms and send some to the front office, the majority of our checkouts are now students who come into the CLC and check a book out. And they're touching the books and they're holding the books and they're loving the books. And
yes. Do you know how many students? Okay, everybody knows I have a transition hall that goes through my library. If you don't, I have a transition hall that goes through my library. But the students going through, Miss Quintana, are you open yet? I mean, like, it's just, it was amazing. And so, let me tell you,
well, when we first opened, we only allowed ELA to send students in because we were kind of nervous and stuff like that, even though we use Library Track. And honestly, if you're a librarian and you don't know what Library Track is or anything about it, I highly, highly, highly recommend you using it. Get your district or even you, see if you can afford to get the subscription on your own. Our district provides it for us. And it's one way that we're doing contact tracing. So even if you have to sell it to somebody and say, hey, this is a way to do contact tracing in the CL in the library, you can do that. But I do like all of I even have a calendar for collaboration on there that only I see, and I schedule my collaboration through there. But students sign in and then they sign out when they leave. And that's, another data point that we have.
My problem with Library Track is that I legitimately have one laptop at my circulation desk that I do check in and check out. And I don't have a laptop to put up for Library Track. Every piece of technology in my school has been handed out to students, as it should be. I'm not complaining about that, but I'm sad. I wish I could use it. I wish I had access to it again. I mean, I can use it on my desktop, but that's not helpful.
I love it.
Old desktops that I put it on. So because it's web-based, you can put it on anything. And I've used 2 desktops for the longest time. I don't use a laptop there. I use desktops. The only confusion is when you tell new 6th graders, go sign in on those computers, they tend to log us out and Library Track out and log themselves in on the computers because they're taking me literal. But
you know what? That's a great idea, Anita. I have 20 desktops in my space. I could probably just steal one of those and relocate it to the circ desk.
For sure.
It's a great idea.
Because it's so helpful, Ingrid. Like literally. I'm
a huge fan.
Library Track.
I bought a subscription before the county gave us one. Like I have always been a serious fan. It makes everything so much easier.
Yes.
So, y'all know how much I love, and even though it doesn't show up right on here, I love Canva.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Lori, because Lori introduced me.
I should work at Canva.
You should. But I gotta tell you, I don't know how I got by without it.
My background is from Canva.
Can I tell you a secret? We'll only share it with our closest friends and family, okay? I was just
probably all that's listening to us now anyway. We haven't recorded in so long.
That is so true. And I doubt if my family does anyway. So, so we were just talking about a few minutes ago, talking about a Cricut for the libraries and stuff like that. Our school owns one, so I don't have one. I have an old one in the CLC, but I bought one for myself a couple years ago, and I just unboxed it like 2 months ago. Like through all the COVID stuff, I'm like, okay, it is time. I now have time. I can get out my Cricut and start working on it. So I started doing some Cricut stuff. Let me just tell you, Canva, you can go into Canva and you can design SVGs, which is the thing Cricut uses. So if you don't want to pay a lot of money for all the Cricut stuff and design stuff on Cricut, you can use all the fonts in Canva. You can use all of the graphics in Canva. You can make your own and export it as an SVG. So there you go.
I did see that they had the SVGs in there. I didn't make the connection yet because I can't find a Cricut. Like they're out of stock, and I even did the email to notify me when it's back in stock, and I have not received that email yet. So
if you don't have a Canva account, and also this year, since we haven't talked about it yet, and I know we're just like, I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm so excited. I want to tell.
That's what we're doing today. This is just us having a conversation, girl.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so the earlier in the year, it was up for renewal. My Canva membership was up for renewal. And Canva, if you want to hire me to preach for you, I will do it. But Canva has an educators thing. And if you sign up for the educators thing, instead of paying $128 or whatever I paid the year before, it's free. So
yeah.
You can even have a class underneath your educators thing and have students do stuff. So ladies, I know you have your library science classes. You could even have your library science students in there, and you may already, and I may be like real excited about this, and you're like, Anita, I'm not about this at all.
No,
but
you know what I'm thinking? I'm like, Canva, would you like to sponsor us?
there you go. Canva, we will put your emblem down here at the bottom of our screen, right down there somewhere. And you can, we'll just have your little emblem there. But Canva is incredible. And so I was going to just show you all my stats. It messed up on my phone a little bit. But like, as you can see in October, it was pretty pathetic.
Okay, you should read them because I can't see that.
Wait, I see Country CLC.
So it was sixth grade had 17 checkouts for the month of October. Seventh grade had 12. And shocker of all shocks, because you know they do the least reading in my school, eighth grade had 50.
What? Eighth grade beat sixth and seventh grade?
Yes, doubled. I do have some app readers.
That's impressive.
Okay,
very
and then
impressive.
November was when they were allowed to come into the CLC and started coming in. So sixth grade went from 17 the previous month to 144.
Good.
Seventh grade went from 12 to 84. And eighth grade was still the top from 50 to 170.
That is just amazing to me.
That's
eighth grade
awesome.
always comes in third.
So now that sixth grade has figured out how to come in and check out, and they are the closest grade level to me, they are now in the lead for December. Now, I ran this on Monday, previous to like Monday midday, so previous to Monday afternoon and Tuesday's checkout. So it's really not complete for December. But sixth grade had 358 checkouts, seventh grade 282, and eighth grade 118. So eighth grade dropped just a little bit, but I think their workload was picking up because of the end of the semester having to get projects in.
That's awesome.
I was so. Go ahead, Ingrid.
I ran my stats, and I first have to say that a lot of them are misleading because Lindley's sixth grade academy is not near where my babies live. They bus my kids in, and so most of them are 20 minutes from school. So nobody wanted to come and pick up books. They were like, yeah, no, my mom's not driving 20 minutes for me to get a library
You mean
book.
for curbside?
So my October numbers are my big push to do book pickup, where I would check them out to the kids. Like virtually none of them were picked up. So my October numbers were 245, but I mean, that's just false because they didn't get them. Things picked up a bit in November. So in November, I had 313. And then in December, I realized that this just wasn't working and my circulation was bad and kids weren't reading. And so I went to my principal and I'm like, here's my plan. Here's what I want to do. We need to create some excitement about reading. We need to change our focus. So I outlined it for her. Submitted it to her and she approved it. In the first 2 weeks in December, I ran this last Friday, or was it last Monday? But either way, the first 2 weeks in December, we checked out 443 books. So I'm feeling good about that. But yeah, it's just depressing when you realize, like when I look back at October, like
of last year,
those books got read. Yeah, I'm like, but anyway, but I'm happy now. I'm happy with our first 2 weeks.
It depresses me because I used to have pre-COVID 100 plus students in the CLC every morning.
Yes, every day.
Checking out books, hanging out, working on computers. We would, a parapro and I would rotate.
Lunch in the library.
Yeah,
we had so much stuff going on, and then COVID came, and
and so now we're doing our new norm. But I have to say that this has brought on a new, and I don't know what to call it. It's like a fight for survival for school librarians. It's like we were advocating for ourselves before, but now it seems like that is just like, it's such a like they talk about COVID fatigue, like advocacy fatigue for school librarians is real right now. But I think we're working harder than we ever have. We worked hard before, and we're working harder than we ever have, because you've got all these businesses out there that had to close because of COVID. They lost money, so they've closed. I feel like we're doing everything we can not to be that. You know what I mean? Like we're like the library is just closed because there's nothing happening in it, because it really depends on your school and your admin and what they are allowing. Because in our district, what is it? Like it's either red, green, or red, yellow, or green. Ours is in between. And so like I was only allowed to have 2 students per class come to the library, and it's still that way. Teachers can only send 2 students at a time to check out books. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for having that, because if I had nothing, if I was one of the librarians that was put in the red, I really don't know what I would do. I don't know, because we're all 3 very like much into our jobs and doing things for students and
advocating for our
and
profession.
advocating and stuff. And so so we have a lot of energy. And so
That's a nice way that's a nice way of saying it.
And so to have to kick that back has been very difficult, at least for me. I speak for myself on that.
No, I agree. Like we were talking with other media specialists. I don't know, was it a PO, whatever, and people were saying like they have entire classes come in at one time, and I'm like, wow. I'm limited to 5 kids.
Yeah, there's some libraries in our district that are green. They're doing.
Yeah.
They're just like going.
And that's amazing. I mean, I think that's great.
I am allowing a whole ELA class to come in at one time to check out, because here's my thought process on it. They already know their students that are on roll, and we're trying to make sure they social distance, which remind me to tell you the story about that in a few minutes. But they already are keeping track.
Yeah.
So I can have a whole class come in to check it out. They're only going to be in there a few minutes anyway. Or the teacher can send up to 5 at a time. Now, if they're working on a computer, I only have 9 computers in the CLC because all of my laptops are at home. And so I can only do small classes coming in to use the desktop computers, and we just got new ones and they love them. But yeah, I had a couple of students come in from 7th grade the other day that I had to kind of bust because and I told them, I said, guys, I would love for y'all to just come in here and be able to hang out with your friends and like we did before March, but we can't do that. So we've got a social distance. And I had to tell them that several times. It was 2 boys and 2 girls. And I looked on Library Track, because on my laptop, I can see who signed in and what classes they came from. And they were from 2 different classrooms. It was 3 different classrooms. 3 different classrooms. So when they came up to finally, after 15, 20 minutes, check out a book, I kind of said to them, I said, Lori's taking a picture. I kind of said to them, I said, so who sent the text to arrange y'all's little meetup in here at this time?
I know, they do. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we do allow students to come in, but we are trying to social distance. I have, if you know anything about my space, the circulation desk used to be called the cage.
And you made it a cage again,
stuff,
right?
On printers and stuff, it used to be the cage, because it had glass all the way to the ceiling, blocking it off, and a little window for the librarian to talk to the students through. In my first year there, I get rid of that. And now here I have plexiglass all up across the front of the circulation desk. I have plexiglass, which really nobody monitors or follows. They all stand to the side of it anyway. They don't want to talk through it. But I have plexiglass at my desk, and I'm like, yeah, this is our new reality, like you said, Lori.
We have plexiglass in front of my media para, but not on my side of the circulation desk.
We have plexiglass at book.
I'm like, I have a mask.
And in front of checkout, and my desk and my para both have it. But as you were saying, Anita, literally, which I knew was going to happen, my kids are like, Miss Hampton, and they just walk around it to come
They do.
stand right
They
next
stand to the
me.
side.
Yeah, and want to talk to me, and they're not trying to.
Teachers are the worst though, because they're my friends. So they're like, hey, and they come and they stand right next to the plexiglass and not stand on the other side of it. And yeah.
My teachers are pretty good. When I'm in my office, I have a big window to the side of me, and they'll just stand outside the window and talk to me, which I appreciate, which is nice and thoughtful.
I don't have a door on my office. My office is out in the middle of the CLC.
Well,
So
I just want to say that, like, I have so missed us being able to do this. And because we have been so busy doing everything we possibly can to serve all of our stakeholders, we could not get on the same schedule to be able to record, which was very, very difficult. And the number of times that we tried to schedule and then something came up for one of us or all of us was several. And so I just want to tell our audience that I hope that you didn't think we completely abandoned this project. It's just we had to take care of business, right? And so
and we had to take care of family too.
Exactly. We have to take care of ourselves and our families in addition to doing our jobs. And like everyone else, it just means that our free time becomes so much more and more limited. It's decreasing.
So yeah, so I really hope that everybody comes back and joins our conversations. We had a talk a little while ago on how we wanted to, like, if we wanted to update our podcast, change the theme of it and whatever. And we learned that, no, we started out with overdue conversations from the library. And so that's what we do. We have conversations from the library. And honestly, we don't know what's going to be the conversation, right? So today it was all about just getting back out there and saying hi to y'all and letting you know that we're back, and we will continue. Anita, I know that we did the one word for our Georgia Lib Chat, Slow Chat. And so
yeah, my word change is
coming again.
So my word was intentional. And 2020 gave me a really intentional look at it. And halfway through the year, I had to change that to survive.
I don't remember what my one word was.
I was just sitting here thinking, I have no clue what word I picked.
Listen. You can go back and listen to your one word. So I would love to do that again. I try to do, yes. And as a matter of fact, here's what we'll do, because I've been trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, are you ready? Merry Christmas to you too. I have made you both insulated water bottles with our podcast, Overdue podcast on it.
I love that.
So fabulous.
I had one extra one because it came in a pack of 4 containers. So I went on and I made an extra one. I could have made one for my son, but I didn't because he's 18. But he probably was not on my good side that day. But I have an extra one of these, so I'm going to give it out, and here's how you're going to win it. You're going to go to our YouTube channel, which is Overdue. I don't even know. Is it Overdue Lib Talk?
No, it's Lib Chat. Talk. Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Lib Talk.
That's awesome, you guys. We don't even know. Just go search for it, find it.
I know, right?
You'll see our mugs on there.
Hey, you're all librarians. You know how to research.
Yeah. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to our YouTube channel, whatever the name of it is, and you're going to subscribe.
Are you going to make me go there?
And like our video. And then you're going to put in the comments. You're going to put in the comments what your one word for 2021 will be. And we will send this to one of our lucky listeners. How about that? Does that sound okay?
I think that is so awesome.
I agree. Amazing.
So you have until the next time that we podcast to do that. So it depends on how quickly we get on schedule to podcast. It could be in the next week. It could be in the next month. It could be in the next 6 months. Who knows with us?
Well, let me tell you, we're all quarantined. Anything can happen now.
Hopefully, though, we will have a chance to get together over, I don't know what their holiday plans are, but I plan on staying home. So you can, maybe we can get together and podcast again between now and the beginning of the year, or at least before our school year begins on January the
4th.
4th for us.
Okay, so I'm on our YouTube channel, guys, and it's Overdue Conversations from the Library. If you just search that,
Okay.
I don't see a handle on here anywhere. But don't forget, we're also on Twitter at Overdue Lib Talk.
Yes, but I want you to do it on YouTube because I want that channel to kind of grow.
Okay.
And here's the other cool thing too. If you let us know that you want this, I've posted a couple of how-tos, very small how-to videos on there. I don't mind doing that again. Lori or I, because we're so good, I don't know how Ingrid is with Canva, one of us would not mind doing a how-to video, how to use Canva. So I have no problem doing how-to videos like that for you too, if that would help you out.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's a good idea.
So, okay. So post on this video and you too could win this insulated, and let me tell you, it keeps your drink cold all day long. As a matter of fact, I kind of made this drink yesterday and I grabbed it real quick because it was about half full and it's still rather cool.
There it is, guys. There's our YouTube channel and our current episodes on, not current, our past current episodes that we uploaded to YouTube. It took Anita and Ingrid forever to convince me to do this and have my face out there like this, because my whole attraction to doing the podcast was it would be just my voice. And so, but we've got positive feedback from our YouTube channel viewing, but we do need to increase viewership. If you guys want to see us, like Anita said, you may not want to see us.
And let me tell you, 2 of my favorite podcasts that we did were the GLMAs. So the GLMA Library Media Specialist of the Year, we have part 1 and part 2 on there. Those were fantastic. So I highly recommend. Those librarians have a wealth of knowledge, and I highly recommend, and I'm really sad that the views are so low. So if you have not joined our YouTube channels yet, you can listen to the podcast in the car, but let me just tell you.
I don't like the facial expressions. I'll have fun with them, and you can draw mustaches on us if you want.
There you go.
Yeah, 'cause it's on your computer, so. Yeah.
Dry erase.
All right, so we have a giveaway. We'll give this away.
We have a giveaway. Yes.
And actually, I think I have a sticker that you could put on your laptop because I have a sticker that was extra. So we
have
might
some extras of all of that. If we ever get to person again with our audience, we have some things left over from before as well. So we might be able to mail some.
Yeah, I have a bag of stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, and we still have to wear our tattoos.
Yes.
I bought temporary tattoos for us to wear at a conference that we were going to, and then the conference was canceled. So we've had for over a year now.
So we can go to the beach and wear them.
Yeah, they're really cool. I mean, and they don't say overdue, they're just books, but I thought they were pretty cool. I don't have any tattoos, so I thought it was cool.
I don't either. My son encourages it, but I have not done it, no.
I'm too scared.
Mm-hmm. I'm too old.
That too.
But anyway, so moving forward just a little tiny bit. Welcome back, Anita and Ingrid. I love you guys. I'm so glad that we did this today. And Our podcasts are going to be limited to 40 minutes because they took away my premium subscription, of course. And so that has kind of went away. So we've got a limited to 40 minutes. And you guys are probably like, yes, thank you. But
Well, and it makes me sad. Like I had stuff I wanted to talk about. And this whole time I'm like, how much time do we have? Do I have enough time? I don't think I have. No, don't say that. Like now I'm all like,
I think we have about
we're chatty.
Yes, we have about 4 minutes left, to be honest with you.
You can talk about it, whatever you want to talk about. Open it up.
I also had things and wrote them down. Oh, why won't you? Okay, there we go. I had things to talk about.
Yep.
So
yeah, they're just, things that aren't going to be.
Didn't.
Nice.
That's the tablecloth. I'm just sitting at the table, but I fly by.
Where's lunch? Where's lunch?
I already ate it. So Ingrid, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I have some things that we could think about and talk about because I want to get your feedback on it. Like I want to know how many of us are thinking that we need to come up with a remote learning plan as a backup, like if we're not going back face-to-face at all after January or after the holiday. So I want to know if other people are thinking that too, because I kind of in the back of my head feel like I need to come up with some sort of game plan for that. And if you are, I'm interested, Lori and Anita, like what you think that game plan is going to look like. I mean, I have my year mapped out in my head, COVID being part of that, but going back to remote is going to change that.
Well, what I've been doing this school year is when a teacher asks me to collaborate on something, I'll collaborate with them and I'll give them the resources for it. But I also, if they ask me to teach a lesson, I record it and then I put it on the Autry CLC's YouTube page. And then the teacher directs the students there to watch the lesson. So like I did a lesson on primary and secondary sources, and it's a lesson I've done for years. I just tweaked it for right now and as a video. So
that's interesting because when I've been teaching, I go into the classroom and the teacher handles the remote kids because they can't always hear me because I'm not mic'd, and I handle the face-to-face kids. So it's interesting that you're recording instead of going face-to-face.
By video, I don't have to do that, and then it covers it for every class period. So actually the Autry CLC has a lot of YouTube videos out there because for a time I was reading a chapter a day. Sorry, somebody in Illinois wanting to call me. We live in Georgia, so it's probably about the election coming up.
I'm so over
that. The text messages are out of control.
My mailbox, and like they're high quality, thick, glossy ads. I'm like,
oh, and then my mailbox. Like take that money and give it to the schools.
Thank you.
So I have been recording videos and then giving teachers resources. I've even created some assessments that they can do at the end of the video and given those to the teachers to do. And I've just asked them, because I've done them in forms, and I said, why don't you just make a copy of it? Now I would use, what is that?
Can I ask you, like one of the main reasons, because I did screencasts for some of the things that we were doing. And my teachers were very much like, no, my kids need to see you. They need to see you. They need to interact with you. They need to know who you are. It's important that you come into my space. Like, what is your opinion on that? I mean, it's been beneficial for me because now the kids do know me more, other than the kids that I have in my own personal class, but I've been able to branch out and meet more of them. How do you feel like your recordings have negatively impacted that, or do you think it's just been neutral?
I think you have to do whatever's best for your student.
Yeah, I think it's been neutral.
I'm just curious, because I would rather not be face-to-face. If you know what I mean? Like I would rather.
Mostly 7th and 8th grade that has asked me for the videos. But 6th grade, I haven't done much with any either, but I did do some videos for them at the very beginning.
But see, the videos are
5.
Yeah, the videos are great though when they have to work asynchronously and to put in their resources in CTLS so that they can go back and reference them as many times as they need to as well.
And the good thing about that is the students who are face-to-face, like I did one on Office 365, how to use Word for 6th grade. And so and how to print and stuff like that. The students who are face-to-face, they see them in the classroom with the teacher. The students who are at home sees them on CTLS. but the students who are face-to-face also have access to CTLS because that's where they're uploading their assignments to. So they have access to watch those videos, rewind them, pause them. And I encourage them to do that from the very beginning. Is like, guys, if you need to, you can stop this video at any time, do it step by step with me and things like that. So,
I mean, I think it's interesting, and I'm torn. I mean, I like being in it and I like seeing the kids, but you're right. My remote students didn't have that contact because the classroom teacher was monitoring their questions, their chat, you know, what their comments, and I was dealing primarily with face-to-face. So you're right. I mean, I like missed a whole half the class, and most of my classes, half of them are remote. So yeah, that's an issue as well.
and I'm going to say something here that may get me in trouble. So my audience, please don't
We're
judge.
back. Anita's back.
Please don't judge, and please don't call Mr. Crawford, although he probably knows already. So I am the CTLS person at my school. I do not claim to be the CTLS expert. I am the CTLS contact. And I created my original fake classroom that they had us do.
Anita, we probably should say that CTLS is our learning platform in our district. So.
And it was created in-house in Cobb County. So it's not going to be like something that you have and you can't go out and subscribe to it. It's only for Cobb County. But it's kind of like, what's the other ones that other districts use?
They use like what? Well, they use Google Classroom
Yeah,
a lot, and Schoology.
Schoology was the one I was thinking of. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a platform where the teachers load things and you have your live sessions in there and things like that. Well, I created my fake classroom, but because I couldn't populate it with students, I really didn't, learn too much with it. And I've never had to create a class. That's me knocking on my wooden table. I've never had to create a class so far because I think I'd be lost if I had to. I'd be calling Lori and Ingrid and going, okay, walk me through the steps on how to do this because I've never done it. But it's just, I support my teachers in a different way. I send them the updates and I say, okay, this is the changes that were made to CTLS. They all think I know everything about CTLS. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, there's updates out like every week too. So it's a learning curve because teachers and students and parents can give feedback and suggestions and everything. So it's a constant update anyway. But I don't know. I've actually really enjoyed learning with my teachers, the whole teaching aspect of CTLS versus the technical part of, like I don't do any of the fielding of technical questions or anything like that. It was given to an AP from the very, very get-go. And so I said, but I need to learn this platform. And so I have 2 classes that I teach in it. And so I've learned the entire system through teaching, versus the backside of the technology and learning the technology and being troubleshooter. So you probably know things that I don't know and vice versa. And so we need to get together. So we all know the full picture. But no, you guys, Ingrid, you said you go in there and you co-teach and you co-teach in there too. So you probably know most of that as well. So
I haven't co-taught once. I haven't co-taught when we started going back face-to-face through CTLS. I do have, which I backed off of, but I do have library hours. So each of my ELA teachers has a library class with me and requested that I do library hours with my kids to walk them through Destiny, help them reserve books, that kind of stuff, talk about books. And then honestly, for my enrichment class, I use Teams. I don't use CTLS. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big Teams fan. I've never been a big Teams fan. So I use Zoom. I like it better, so I use Zoom.
Yeah, we were instructed that we should use Teams, so that's what I did.
Oh, because we were told the opposite. See how things work?
Right?
It's different in every building. So
it is different everywhere.
you have to meet the needs of your stakeholders in your individual buildings. There's nothing else you can do, and you just have to find what works.
Oh, for sure.
You
But
know
I
what I
think
mean? So-
I think there's value in hearing what y'all are doing, even if you're
Mhm.
functioning differently than mine is during COVID-19.
I have definitely done more videos like Anita has, and I have a library YouTube channel as well. And I put those videos out there. Or if there's something that I want the teachers to post directly in the students' announcements or in the class board in CTLS, I will send the direct link to the video in an email to the DLGRF staff email and just say, can you please put this in your students' announcements or on the class board. I think it's more effective when I do it that way than if I just tell them, have your kids go to YouTube, but that's what works best for my school. So so that's different than what Anita's doing. We're doing the exact same thing. It just depends. Yeah. It just works
right. Different ways. Well,
so,
Anita, I got the idea from Anita. I just purchased Bloom. Have either of you read that yet?
I have not. Mm-mm.
I haven't read it either. So that's my goal this coming week is to read it, but it got really great reviews. And moving back, I have teachers that have asked me to come in as a guest reader for the novel that they're reading as a class. So I think
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
record. Yeah, thanks. I'm excited about it, but I think I'm going to record that instead of going in based upon this conversation and see if I can talk them into that.
Is your concern COVID or is it because of not having time of not wanting to go into the classroom? I mean, it could be.
My concern, I love going into the classroom. I love seeing my babies face to face. My concern is the way that it's been set up. I don't see those remote kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know what I mean? Like as we're talking through this, like they still got that content because they, were asking questions to the teacher and the teacher's responding, but I had no interaction with them. Right. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't like that.
Just be careful with copyright. When I read just the first chapter of a book, typically. Sometimes if it's a short chapters, I'll read more than, I'll read 2 or 3 if they're really short. But I typically will just read one chapter. And even some that are super long, I've only read half of a chapter. So I just try to stick to the chapter. I can't remember what book it was, but there was one that was 45 pages. And I'm yeah, no, I'll read about 20 of them. So.
Y'all are lucky because I actually put out a form requesting teachers for teachers to request for me or my para or our library science students. I really thought that they would latch on to that, having the students read to their students to come in and do a first page Friday or something like that with their kids. And it was not well received. My feedback was, I can read to my own kids, thank you. So I was okay.
When we're done with this, wow. And like I said, some of my videos don't have many views, but some of them, like Jeff and I making pickles, has a lot of views. But when I'm done with this, I found Tuesday, and I was going to do it Tuesday, and with everything, when they announced about noon that we were going to be going remote Thursday and Friday, a lot was added to my plate to get done before the end of the week. So I didn't get a chance to do it Tuesday. So either today or tomorrow.
Did it feel like March?
Yeah, all of a sudden it did. Well, no, because I knew in March what was going to happen. I mean, when we went around from classroom to classroom, making sure their technology needs were met, they would ask Mr. Crawford, are we going to be here on Monday? And he'd go, I really don't know. And I'd go, we're not going to be here Monday. Go on and prepare not to be here Monday. And at the end of the day, when he got the email at 4:08, he brought it to me, even though he wasn't supposed to show anyone. And he went, how did you know? And I went, I just knew. And
because librarians are smart.
I was even the person who told everybody we won't be back for the rest of the school year. And he was like, we'll be back.
Haven't you seen that meme?
So, but I am going to get back onto what I was talking about. I found Google Books version of The Night Before Christmas from Harvard Library. And I am going to read that for my students. I'm going to read the entire book because it is out of copyright. I'm going to read that to my students this week. That's my favorite.
Guys, I want you to know right now what I'm trying to do, looking sideways here, is to log back into our Twitter account, and I can't remember the password.
I know the password. I can text it to you.
Yeah, so I thought I knew it, but apparently I have forgotten a couple of things that are important in the password. I was going to tweet out a picture I just took of us so that to get everybody excited, to let everybody know that we've recorded and we're back. Or does somebody want to do the Arnold? No, that's not the right one, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Back. We're back.
You should put that meme at the very beginning of this video.
With the picture of him. He's so awesome. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter, you should. He's so awesome.
I just sent you the password as far as I know it.
Ooh, I was way off. We might have to reset that, baby. Yeah, we're gonna have to reset that, baby. That's okay.
Or you can send me the picture and I can log in and do it. All right. We are so excited to be back, and I would love to find out if you would like to, underneath Lori's tweet that she's going to do for Overdue, if you would like to give us some topics that you would like for us to discuss. I do know that our next one will probably be our one word. We'll talk about that somewhere in the video. But if you have other topics or questions that you would like for us to discuss or answer, we would love that, because we have decided that we thought about doing, extensive research and then talking about it. And then we thought about
PD and all kinds of stuff.
About doing some type of professional development between the three of us, implementing it in our spaces, and then coming back and when someone's talking about it. And we just realized we don't have time for that. This podcast, we're not competing with anyone else but ourselves. This podcast was created for us to come and have a conversation. Sometimes we'll invite friends in, and sometimes we will get their expert.
Have a hot topic. Sometimes we'll have a hot topic.
Sometimes we'll have a hot topic.
Can I say that?
But this podcast is us getting together. Sometimes we'll talk about technology, like we talked about Canva, we talked about Zoom, and we talked about Teams. But sometimes it's just going to be us coming in and having a conversation about what's going on in our lives and what's going on in our schools. And that's what we are. So that's what we're going to remain, and that's how we're going to do it. So if you have a topic you would like for us to pull out of a hat one day,
this is how we do it.
Let us know. Tweet us at Overdue Lib Talk. Is it Overdue Lib Talk on Twitter? I mean, seriously, I've not been into social media much lately. So
yeah, I know. Yes, I know. Ingrid, Anita.
I know. I'm taking a break.
Here comes the boss, and I'm throwing you under.
So what's funny
I
is
can't retweet anything because nobody's putting anything on Twitter. Come on now.
What's funny is I used to be the guiding force between, okay, we have got to get a podcast recorded. We have got to get a podcast recorded. And when COVID hit, I was like, yeah, if we get one recorded, great. If not, then I totally get it, because our lives are crazy. But it is Overdue Lib Talk. We have 400 followers. So that's pretty good. And then if you want to follow me on it, I am Anita Reeds, or I also have Autry CLC, and I just use Autry CLC.
It's
to promote the space.
At Anita Reeds. And I'm at L in the library.
Anita's been reading a good book lately.
Ingrid.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I am at ihanson12.
Yes.
And I will tweet more, I promise.
Okay, so last question real quick before we have to go.
Your last tweet, your principal was raving about you, girl. So you got to tweet.
Well, I have a fabulous principal, so,
So you got to tweet. You're doing
Last
bad
right.
things.
Last question before we go. What are y'all reading? And it can be adult, because we're now, It's Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
Unofficially, tomorrow at 2:30 is actually Christmas Vacation. But what are y'all reading?
I'm reading
Nice.
Ready Player 2 and starting Bloom if it gets here today like it's supposed to.
Question, Ready Player 2, does he cuss as much in that one as he did in the first one?
I'm trying to think. Like, there's some cussing, but I don't feel like it's as prevalent. I'm only like 2 chapters in though. Like, I literally just started it.
I swear that the swearing in that book, he was in a contest to see how many times he could put the F word into Ready Player 1.
Well, and in the first
Doesn't
2
that
chapters,
bother you? It bugs me.
Yeah.
and in the first 2 chapters, you know, you're getting caught up in his life, like what he's been doing and where he's at in his relationships. So it's not that, you know, adventurous activity where he tends to swear a lot more. So it could pick up. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so I just finished, I know I'm kind of late to the bus on this one, but Midnight Sun, which is the Edward version of Twilight, which was very good. It gave me some insight on his thinking on some things. And before that, I read Life and Death, which is Twilight's role reversal. So Edward was female and Bella was Beau, which was male, and like all the characters except for Charlie and Renee were cross-gendered. So that one was pretty cool too. But I just finished the other day Ash Princess, and now I'm reading Lady Smoke. It's in a series. Highly recommend. I'll be getting them for the CLC.
Are you guys reading them or are you doing audiobooks?
I'm doing audio because I'm in the car so much that it was just.
I'm just curious.
I'm
I do that
I'm doing
survey with
both.
everybody.
I can multitask when I do an audiobook. I can do.
I'm not
everything.
trying to call nobody out. I ask. I don't know.
I do both. Like Ready Player 1 is audio, and Bloom, I bought the hard copy.
Okay, so question: Ready Player 2, is it Will
Yes.
we reading it again?
Yes. And it's I love it. Because why we love series, right? Like you get to revisit all your friends. You get to see them and find out what they're doing. And so
It's funny that you say
enjoyed it so
that.
far.
It's funny that you say that because a librarian was just complaining the other day on social media about authors turning everything into a series and how hard it is for librarians to make sure they have every book in the series in the
No, it's not.
library. Well, it kind
I
of
think we will talk about in another future episode because that is
3 comes up missing or not turned in. So then you got 1, 2, 4, and then
Yeah.
6 missing.
I mean, that's a reality for sure. Are we
Yeah.
running out of time, Anita? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think we are, but it's super easy to do to fix that. So I'm not worried about that. And I think that needs to be an episode coming up on how we handle that. Laura,
Okay.
what are you reading?
Okay, well, I read Dear Martin, and then I read Dear Justice with my library science kids
So
this
good.
semester. So good, so good. That was fabulous, and the kids absolutely loved it. We did so many projects with those books and had such great, deep discussion. And I have to tell you, I've had to learn how to have those deep discussions with kids. It's very sensitive, and for them and for me too. You know what I mean? And so one of the things that librarians are tasked with are doing the social emotional things with our kids as well. And let me tell you, we don't get training for that. You know what I mean? Training doesn't come out to us at all. And so we do it through our books and through our stories. And so I want people to know out there how important it is, and why libraries are so important is because these stories that we have, that we read with the kids and then talk with the kids, teach them about real world things that are happening right now in our lives. And so they need that. They need a person in their life to be able to do that. Okay. So those are 2 from school. And then I am trying to finish up, and somebody asked me this on Twitter the other day, if I finished it yet, and I'm really trying, but I've been trying to read on Libby, Stephen King's 11/22. 63, and it's really good so far. And so now that vacation has come, I'm probably going to get that one done like tonight, tomorrow night. It's going to happen. And then while I was on Twitter, because you guys, I do Twitter for everybody. So I came across this lady. Her name is I'm trying to get back to Twitter because I want to give you her Twitter Her name is Gordana. I'm saying that right. Gordana Biarnat. And I can't get it to, but anyway, it's called Know the Truth. It's hashtag Know the Truth. So it's right up my alley for Twitter. But her Twitter address is at My Power Talk. And so it's why knowing who you are changes everything. And so I just got this from Amazon, and I've taken a couple of quotes out of it and used it in some of my, for those of you that don't know, I just started blogging for American Association of School Librarians in their Knowledge Quest magazine. And I just quoted her in my last blog that I wrote. But they're numbered quotes, and she talks a little bit about each of the quotes and stuff. And I'm a quote person, so I absolutely love it so far. But I really love her. They're inspirational for me, and it's all about learning who you are. And I love her Twitter handle, My Power Talk. It's empowering. Maybe that's gonna be my word.
Maybe. We'll have to find out next time.
So that's what I'm working on right now. And there's way more inside Libby that are on my hold shelf. So, or not hold. Yeah, that's what it is.
And Libby is the public library's version of Sora.
Correct. Yes. Yep. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I haven't got to be an audiobook person yet. I'm not going to lie, but it took me forever to read on a device, because I wanted the book. And then I finally am loving Libby and Sora. So I'm doing that. Okay. I just haven't graduated to audiobooks yet. I love words. I love seeing the words. I love learning new words. I love the way the sentences are formed. I picture what's going on in the story better by seeing the words than I do just listening to it. So that's just my learning style.
I think a lot of people agree with that. I started doing audiobooks because my drive time is so long. When I started at Campbell, and then I moved even further from my home when I went to Lindley 6. So, you know what? I'm an hour 15.
Oh, wow. And you're longer than me, I think, or equal. Wow.
Yeah. And it's just a really stressful drive in traffic. And to be able to concentrate on something else peripherally was just really helpful.
Yeah.
It gave me something.
A lot of people do it. A lot of people do it.
I'm 25 minutes from my house.
Oh, I was like, what is she signaling over there?
25.
Okay. So anyway, this has been great, guys. It has been super great. And I can't wait to do our next recording, especially if it's going to be the one word. I did see something that somebody posted on Facebook. It was actually my niece. My niece posted it. It looks like a word search, and it says the first 4 words you see in the word search are your words for the year. So I don't remember who. I can't remember my niece, so I could go back if anybody.
Money, love.
Money, love.
Yeah, something I don't have either of. So, hey. All right, don't forget to put your one word in the bottom of this video, and you have a chance to win one of these cool little, it has Cricut cutouts of Overdue podcast on it, water bottles. And ladies, I got to get a way to get you yours. I have them.
Yeah, I know. But since it looks like none of us are going anywhere.
We'll have to meet up over break for like social distance meetup.
I'm not going to lie. Like that one podcast, like you were talking about that we did, where we did GLMA live. We did the Georgia Lib Chat live while podcasting. That was that was so much fun.
That one was a lot of fun.
And so.
And do you remember the name of that one?
Oh, is that a trivia question for our readers?
Listeners? Trivia question for you. Do you remember the name of it?
I don't remember the name of it.
No idea.
Don't be a tight bun librarian.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I want you to know there's a librarian out there that calls herself that now. Just saying.
Really?
Yes, there is.
I don't know. I wear my hair in a bun quite often, but I don't know that I'd be bragging that I have a tight bun. Just saying.
Should I tie other things maybe? No, I'm just kidding. I was talking about a tight braid. No.
Of course you were. Absolutely. That's where my mind went.
Tight
Sure.
jeans.
That's right.
Tight jeans.
This bun.
All right.
So, go.
I was
We
just going to
haven't
say
done
bye
this
to
in so
everybody.
long, We're just
That's what
dying
I
to-
was going to do.
Can you
All right.
tell we don't want to leave each other?
It's so bad. I feel like I'm in high school. You hang up first. No, you first.
I know, right?
If you had any idea, last night, my son, he was like, Mom, can you spend some time with me? And he's 18 and he's fixing to go out on this little adventure in a couple of months. And I was like, yes, I can spend time with you. Meanwhile, we had been in a text conversation. I came back to
The
my
three
phone,
of us. The three of us.
Right.
the three of us. And I said, because if I don't tell them what I'm doing, then they speculate. And the speculating is sometimes hilarious. Not true, but hilarious. And so I said, hey guys, my son needs me to spend some time with him. And when he asks at 18, you know, you kind of gotta, because he's not gonna ask for long. And so I put my phone down and didn't really pick it back up.
And in these times, we've been told to extend grace. So Ingrid and I extended grace to Anita to go and
Right.
spend time with her son. But that didn't stop us from continuing to text.
That's right.
At
We
Anita.
absolutely did.
238 messages this morning. 238 messages this morning.
And you act surprised, Anita. You know how
I know,
cheating we
right?
I know I shouldn't be. I was driving two summers ago up to upstate New York, and in the car one night they got going, and by the time I got to my hotel it was over like 300 or 400.
Mhm.
And then they expect me to catch up. There's only been one time I have not caught up on their conversation. It was a couple of hundred, and I just said, y'all are gonna have to catch me up. I'm not reading through all these.
Listen, one day we will write a book.
Based on our text messages.
We
Yes.
should. We should do
But
that.
some
So-
of them need to be deleted before we do that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Well, by then, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to fire us.
Well, that's true.
We'll be
They're gonna-
retired by then.
Yes, and they're going to be like paying us to come and talk.
That's right.
Hopefully.
All right, people, we love you. And I'm glad y'all listened to if you're still sticking around, y'all really deserve a gold medal or something, because
For sure.
we've kind of gone off on a tangent because we have not seen each other in so long that we, because anytime we get into a Zoom meeting like this, with it's the three of us, we're like, somebody needs to hit record, and then we don't have time to record. So we have not had a chance to do this in quite some time. So thank you for indulging us and letting us, goof off and pick at each other. And
I told you this was going to be the Christmas special, and that means that it's long and the break is long. So you have plenty of time to listen to us.
Ashley, just walk a little faster on that treadmill, baby. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to set it for longer than 30 minutes, right?
Holly, don't speed in the car, and please don't hit the car in front of you when you start laughing. Just saying. All right. Well, love you guys. And we're going to end the recording now. We may carry on the conversation.
The husband has started passing me notes because I won't get off the computer. So, okay.
Well,
Anyway,
all right, Roberta.
guys, this has been great. So,
It has been good.
actually
So
going to
good
say
to catch
bye
up.
and end the conversation. So, thanks for listening to Overdue.
Bye.